light is acting weird. I know nobody's on yet, but every time I move my head, it seemed like the light was doing weird things. Okay, is that better? It's still doing it. Hi, Joseph, how are you? Trying to adjust the lighting on mine. Every time I move, the light starts acting weird. Awesome. I think you're the only one right now. What are you doing tonight? I was getting ready to type back to you. I don't know why. That's weird. I'm an old lady. I'm not used to technology. Whoa. Hello. Great. Good. You working on any movies right now? I guess duh, right? You have any movies going on? You don't know? Trying to get inspired? You got to come up with your own story. I bet you could do it. You seem like a very creative person. Ooh, Sarah! A Marley and Me parody. What about your own story? Can you make up your own story? I have to change my glasses. Old lady eyesight is not good. Hi, Sarah. I hope you are getting some rest. Sarah's dog, her love, was not doing well. Ooh, Deb is on and she's organizing her yarn. Hi, Deb. That's a fun thing. I'm looking forward to that with mine. We've got lots of projects going on at our house right now, but one of the projects that my husband already has wood for is that he's going to build some shelves back here on the wall, and that I can put like little cubby shelves that I can put my yarn in. Right now I have one tub of yarn, but it's just a mess in there. I don't know what I have anymore. I need to have a better way to organize it. Thank you, Sarah, about the hat. I have a link to the pattern in my update video that I did today, so if you check that out. This is actually made of alpaca yarn that I got at the Art of Recycle. I think that the whole skein was only like $2 or $3. I could not believe it. I tried to see if they had more, but they just had the one. So Joseph was telling me about his ideas. Joseph is a movie maker. He did, oh, your own story. I did, but the only ideas I had were horror and my parents don't want me to. Oh, I see. I see. Well, I bet you could branch out and try and think of something else that's not horrific. Oh, good. Sarah was talking about her dog here. She spoke to the doctor and he's starting to respond to treatment. He's sitting up and even ate some food. Oh, thank goodness. Thank goodness. One thing at a time, right? I hope that everything works out there for you, Sarah, and that doggy, gets to relax and come back home and be with his mommy. Aw. Joseph Roman posted a video today. I don't know if you saw it. Sarah said, absolutely not out of the woods yet, but he's alive. I bet, Joseph, you could come up with a really, really good storyline. Hi, Marina. Oh my gosh, so good to see you again. What am I working on? Well, when I have a Patreon account and I do monthly giveaways on my Patreon for something that I've made. And so, oh, Joseph, yeah, he was wondering if you were going to come on, but on his live, but I'm sure he'll do another one. Maybe he can give more warning for that one. So I was asked what I was working on. So for my Patreon, I do a monthly giveaway of something that I've made. And so for July, it's just something small for July, but I'm not working on that one. It's something that's finished. I did this. This is like a worry doll slash sensory type toy. It's not really a toy, but it's supposed to be something, it's filled with beans and stuffing, and it's supposed to be something to calm you down. So if you're feeling anxious, you can pull it out and just kind of scrunch on it a little bit and de-stress. And it's just a reminder that somebody's thinking of you and somebody loves you. So that's what I did for this month. I'm working on next month's, but I want to try and keep it a surprise. It's a little bit of a bigger project, so I needed more time to do it. So, thank you. Like a worry stone. Yeah, and there's worry, Sarah said that it was like a worry stone. And there's also like worry dolls out there and stuff like that. And I think the worry dolls, I love the story behind them. You have them, and then at night you tell them what you're worried about and you put them under your pillow, and then when you wake up, all your worries are supposed to be gone. So I always thought that was kind of cute. But I had something in the back of my mind rolling, and this isn't a project that I would start right away. You know, it's just something, an idea that I had. I thought that maybe I would do a book of not all owls, but different types of like worry sensory type of toys or objects or whatever you want to say. You know, the crochet patterns for them, and so we'll see. Yeah, I'm working on the dishcloth stuff right now. All the people on my Patreon have been involved in the dishcloth thing, patterns that I've been working on. Oh, thank you, Sarah. Sarah said that was a good idea. So that'll probably come first. And I think if I were to do a dishcloth book, it would have to have a lot of patterns in it for people to want to buy it. So I'm going to be working on that one for a while yet. Before, and I found like before I was trying to do different ideas all at once, and it was just so stressful. So I'm just going to kind of work on one thing at a time, so that I don't get too stressed out by it. Oh, Deb won my last giveaway on Patreon, and it was from what is his name? Not Monster. It was one of his plants. It was called the Lucky Bamboo. So she won that, and she said my Lucky Bamboo is prominently displayed. Thank you. You're welcome. Congratulations on being the winner that month. That was a fun project. Last Christmas, I made a bunch of the plants that were from that book for coworkers as a gift. You know, we always do something little for each other, and I wanted to make something, so I'll have to think of something new to do this year. Probably should start that now, so it's not all of a sudden I'm back to work and driving the kids to their millions of activities and needing to make something. Recreational Knitting Podcast. Hi, you just showed up on my feed. Love finding new fiber friends. Welcome. It's nice to meet you. I'm Heather. Oh, Jeanne is on too. Hi, Jeanne. So what should I call you? Recreational Knitting Podcast. I'm trying to get better at knitting. I've been like knitting dishcloths all year to practice my stitches, and then I do something called Wearable Wednesday, and I had been doing crocheted wearables, but this week I'm going to start my very first knitted wearable. So fingers crossed that my skills, I'm not overestimating my skills in doing it. I'll show you the pattern. It's just right here next to me. I just had to reach for a minute. It is Caron Top Down Knit Pullover, and its skill level is easy. So I'm hoping that I'm able to do it. I kind of read over the pattern, and in theory, it looks like something I can do. But you know how it is when you do something new for the first time. So it's not my first time to knit, but it's my first time to try to knit a wearable. So I love finding new fiber friends too. I love yarn, I love knitting, I love crocheting. So, you guys still there? I'm not frozen, am I? Hopefully it didn't freeze up. Not frozen. Okay, good. Good. I didn't see anything pop up, so I was just making sure. Are we quiet or is something messed up? Okay, good. Thank you. Oh, Gian's there too. Recreational knitting is there too. Awesome. Thank you. We just had a little quiet patch. Oh, Marina, you're sweet. She said she loves Wearable Wednesday. You can do it, Heather. Even if it's challenging, your skills will grow from it. Yeah. Um, that's how I found like the best way to do it is just kind of to jump in. I've had about 6 months here of practicing on dishcloths. So fingers crossed I can transfer that to, I did knit a cowl. It was something that I did for Patreon, and that was one of the giveaways I did for Patreon. So still crocheting, Deb said. Woohoo! I'm still gonna do crocheted wearables too, but I want to start kind of the challenge. And then another thing that I'd really, really love to try is Tunisian crochet. I've never, is it Tunisian crochet or Tunisian knitting? Whichever it is, I've wanted to do that. But that's just like another thing on my list. Sometimes it's hard to prioritize where I want to go with it, all of this. Sarah said, yeah, I can't wait to see your first knitting wearable. Thanks for taking us on your journey. Sure, I figure, I could make a complete fool out of myself, or it could work out, or maybe it's just going to be, either way, it's going to just be a really good learning experience. Recreational said, I'm knitting several sweaters, summer knitting. Woohoo! Love, it's Tunisian crochet. Okay, I couldn't remember, is it Tunisian crochet or Tunisian knitting? But I'd like to, yeah, Marina, you love it. I've heard a lot of people say they really love it. I want to learn that, but like I said, it's kind of like I have so many things on my list that I want to do. So, I think my husband said he played the lottery this week. Maybe I'll be able to retire from working if we actually hit it. Oh, that would be crazy. Marina said, Tony at TL Yarn Crafts just released a Tunisian dishcloth series tutorial today. That is awesome. I am subscribed to Tony. I love her channel. She's so professional. Something to aspire to, huh? So I'll have to go and check her out sometime when I have the chance. Sarah said, we're here to celebrate when you succeed or laugh with you when it fails. Thank you. I'm glad you said with me and not at me. Although there might be some of both going on there. Recreational said, there are no fails, just learning experience. Karen, okay. I'm going to write some of these names down. I've been doing that so I can start to get to know people in this community. So, Karen is Recreational Knitting Podcast. I've been crocheting for a really long time, but I never was very successful with wearables. So, hi Joseph. So that's why I started doing that. And so when I started with the crocheted wearables, you guys who have been with me along the journey, you know that some of them were just god awful and some of them were good. So it really has helped me along the way. People have been able to give me advice. And I think taking all that advice into consideration has been really good. I've made a few. I think the cactus and lace. I did the two shirts. One with two different. I did the same shirt with two different yarns, two different types of yarns, and those turned out really nice. And then I did that sweater with that cardigan with the stuff I got from Ollie's, the real fuzzy stuff, and that one worked out. It's just because of all of the advice that I've been getting. And then the one that I did that was awful, where you had to hold three strands together and then I had to take it apart. And thankfully, my mother-in-law and father-in-law, they were so nice. They came over to visit one night, and my mother-in-law watches my videos, and she said, "Where's that yarn that you need to untangle?" And she and my father-in-law sat there and they helped me untangle it. They are amazing. So if you're on, hi mother-in-law, hi father-in-law, thank you so much for your help, because that rescued that yarn. It was quite a bit of Caron Simply Soft, I think is what it was called. Sarah said, but you stay positive and learn with every project, and that's what it's all about. Yeah, it's that's why I'm doing it. I want to push myself to be better. And these are the types of things that do that. Even doing things we're making Thursday, I've done so many things that I probably would have never tried on my own, and just learned so much just from doing it, but also from watching everybody else do it and seeing how they're doing it. How many little tips have you heard on things we're making Thursday from different creators that has helped you along your journey? There were things I never even thought of. I can't think of an example off the top of my head, but it was, just they'll say, when you do this, try this. And it's like, oh my gosh, something so simple I wouldn't have thought of, and now it's making me better. Marina, it was so sweet of them. She said it was so sweet of them. It was so nice. Joseph said, I got my grandmother a Charlie Brown crochet kit for Christmas. That is cool. Is she going to make it for you, or does she make it and keep it for herself? Deb said, I went and subscribed to everybody who is doing Scrubby Sunday. Nice folks. It is awesome. Deb, thank you for this opportunity. Deb was the one who reached out to me about the Starfish Association. And it's just been a really great experience. I love giving back. And in fact, when this is over, I think I'd love to try to seek out another type of crochet donation experience that maybe we can get a group of us going with. I don't have one off the top of my head. If the Starfish Association would be interested after November 11th in some other types of like crochet or knitted items that we could help with, let me know. If not, I might just go on and see if there are any other types of organizations that are taking those kind of donations. So Marina said, I've learned so much from everybody. Me too. Me too. There's always room to grow. And sometimes, like, you just learn the neatest little tips. Sarah just said that I've heard several tips. Me too. It's really cool. Oh, Joseph said that his grandmother doesn't crochet, but she wants to learn. Is crocheting easy? What do you guys think? Is crocheting easy? Most of the people here are pretty good crocheters. It took me, my mother-in-law taught me how to do it probably about 20 years ago. And it took me a little while to feel comfortable holding it. I think that was the one thing that took me a couple tries to really get used to how you hold the crochet hook and get going with it. But I felt like once I could get comfortable holding it and getting the hang of the stitches, it really wasn't hard. Marina said, this is to Joseph. Send her here, Joseph. Lots of excellent YouTube tutorials to help all skill levels. It's true. A lot of people have learned how to crochet by watching YouTube. So I don't know. I keep telling people because I just love crocheting so much that it's just, once I started doing it, it just felt right. And I just had to do more. I don't know if that makes sense. I know some people get frustrated and don't like those kind of things, but I think they might need hats for the winter. That would be perfect. I do hat donations every year, so I would love to be able to do hats for them. Would that be, let me know, Deb, sometime when we can start those, and I'll put that up there. And I could just maybe make Sunday, like Starfish Sunday or something like that instead of my Scrubby Sunday. Well, I guess we could still call it Scrubby Sunday since that's what everybody knows it as. But if we switch to hats, I don't know. I don't know if we should switch the name or not. I have to think about it. But that would be fun to make hats and try different patterns. There's so many hat patterns out there. This one I love. Whoops. Every time I move my head, that light goes crazy. This one I had in one of my, I put a link to the pattern in one of my videos. It was called the Bavarian Stitch Hat. And it's by, I don't know how to say the creator's name. It's Zhavin Crochet. So anyway, just keep me in the loop, Deb, because I would love to just keep going with that. It is such a nice feeling to be able to make something to donate, to know that it's going to a good home and to somebody that would appreciate it. So, does your grandma, Joseph, go onto YouTube? What are you guys working on today? I heard that Deb is cleaning out or going through her yarn, which is fun. It's fun to see what you have. I can't wait till I can do that. All of mine. All right, here's let me see if I can flip this and show you guys my yarn in that corner. That's all my yarn. I can't find anything. I need to have a better way to organize it. But my husband, he already has the wood for it. Oh, Sarah said, I really like the donation ideas. I was planning to do some way clothes, probably washcloths. Just been a crazy time and can't bring myself to crochet or focus on anything. That's understandable. Sometimes you just have to concentrate on yourself and making sure that everything's okay. Yeah, I got you there, washcloth. At first I was confused. So, yeah, I was telling Deb earlier that my husband, he's a pretty decent woodworker. When he puts his mind to do something, he's very, very good at it. And he won an auction for a whole huge lot of wood. So one of the projects he's going to do, and this isn't like high priority. We have some things that we're working on our house, but he's going to build some cubby shelves here that I can keep my yarn in. So I'm looking forward to that. Right now, our dining room is all torn up because we're going to paint and do batten boards. So we were a little bit lucky, I should say, because we lived in a really cute house that we had outgrown, unfortunately, for a very long time. And then when the pandemic hit, and this neighborhood that we live in now, which happens to be named Heatherwood, my name is Heather, was building houses. And so we were fortunate to be able to purchase one of those houses over COVID. And so when you buy the house that we lived in before, we were the first owners of also. And we already kind of knew the spiel, but when you move into a new house, after a year they come back and fix like nail pops and whatever else, that might happen. So they recommend that you don't paint the first year. They said, of course, it's your house, you can do whatever you want, but if you paint and we come back and we have to dig into the wall to fix, I don't know, electrical or nail pops or whatever, you'll have to fix your paint job too. So they said if you don't paint the first year, it's easier. So that's what we did. We lived in it for a year and didn't paint anything. And the walls are kind of like just that flat primer. And so now we've painted the bathrooms at least so that the walls won't get moldy or anything like that. So we have painted some stuff, but I'm excited because this is the first room that we're doing on our first floor, and we have all these ideas of things that we want to do. So it feels like it's been one project after another, which is fun. We love to do that. And my husband's very creative, and he is able to make so many of the things that we want to do. We wanted to put up the batten boards for the dining room, and so he's going to actually build that. And then I've been painting and stuff. So we're in the process of that. We painted the ceiling this weekend and the door. And then tomorrow, since I'm not working tomorrow, I'm going to tape and paint some of the wall. And he's going to get the materials for the batten board that we're going to put up. Okay, let me see what's going on here. Sorry, I got off on a little tangent there. Marina said that happens for me on the regular, Sarah. My daughter and I both deal with health issues and have to manage energy-life balance. I wish I could crochet a lot every day, but that doesn't happen. And Sarah said, thanks, Marina. Sarah, nice to know I'm not the only one. I want to crochet and everything, but sometimes it just doesn't happen. Are you going to share the finished dining room? I can. Should I show you guys what it looks like now so that you'll have the comparison? Are you interested in something like that? I don't want to force my stuff on you. I could show you all torn up what it looks like before. Yes, okay. Come on a field trip with me. Before and after. I haven't taken any before pictures. I really should have done that. Okay, I'll try not to be too jittery as I'm walking here. It's night here, so it's going to be a little bit dark as we're walking through. Sorry, I have to look down at the steps. I actually put on my reading glasses so I could see the screen, but now I can't see far away, so I don't want to fall down the steps. All right, here, let me get the light on. All right, let me switch this around so you can see. All right, so we did the ceiling, we did the trim here, and then you can see, there's the light. All of the tape there, that's where he's gonna put like the wooden slats for the batten board. The batten board is gonna be black, and then above the batten board will be painted white, if that makes sense. There's a little hallway that leads out here to the kitchen, and then that leads down to the basement. So we took the door down, painted the trim on the inside of the door. So it's all torn up. Sorry, I hope that this isn't moving too fast for you. Oh, you like my light? Thank you. Thank you. The lights that they offer when you pick out stuff for your home are god awful. So that was the first thing that we switched out. We actually bought this light before we moved into the house. Marina said, your home is so nice, Heather. Thank you. Thank you. But you can see, like, this is the downstairs. We haven't done any painting or anything down here yet. So much work. Yeah, it is. I'm really excited about it, though. Like, it's really fun to decide everything that you want to do. Oh, let me turn that light off. It will be lovely, one room at a time, exactly. Oh, thank you, Sarah. Thank you, that's really nice. I'm gonna go back up to my room here. Sorry, it is dark. I'm gonna close the door here. My husband plays hockey on Sundays, so he's at hockey. He plays ice hockey. And my boys are just busy doing their own thing in their room. You know, teenagers, they don't care about anybody else anymore. And I don't know that I want to know what they're doing in there. So are there any big crochet or knitting projects going on with you guys? Anybody doing a wearable? Thanks for going on that little tour with me. It's kind of fun. We feel really proud of this. We weren't able to get something nice like this until we were in our 50s. And we definitely, you know, saved up for it. What really did it was my husband works from home. Before COVID, he didn't. But when COVID hit, his office shut down, and he didn't have a place in our old house that he could work. It was a really cute house. It was just that we had outgrown it, and so we needed a place where he could have an office and we could have more space. So, okay, Kai said, working on a Tunisian sweater. Awesome. I was just talking about how I would love to learn Tunisian. It's one of those things that's on my list, but there's only so much time and so much energy, so I have to figure out when that is that I can learn that. But that sounds so cool. I would love to see it. I don't know if you would show us, Kai, when you're done. I'd be happy to put it on my community tab if you wanted to email it to me. Or if you wanted to just show me in private, let me know. I won't put it up. Okay, Marina said, not yet. My daughter wants one of those sleeves that the young people are wearing. So that'll probably be next, my next wearable. Cool. I don't know what these sleeves are either. Sarah said she doesn't know what that is. I'm not sure either, and I work at a middle school. Deb said, after I organized my yarn, I got a handle on my whips, which there are just way too many of them. Right now I'm doing a mesh shawl with dragon fruit socks yarn for the Socks Not Socks challenge. Okay, cool. I've been trying to actually finish everything so I don't have whips that I'm not working on, because that drives me crazy. And Marina said, Heather, how about a Tunisian washcloth for Scrubby Sunday? I would love to do that. Maybe I should try that this week. We'll see. We'll see. We have 2 swim meets this week and a bunch going on. So if I get a chance to, I'll sit down and try to figure it out. I don't know how to Tunisian crochet yet. So, and I only have one Tunisian crochet hook. It's this one here. It is a 5. So I don't know if it's the right size. I know you can just use a long crochet hook too. It doesn't have to be like this long. So I'll have to figure that out too. Kai said it is a test pattern, so I have to wait until it's done. Then I would be happy to share. Okay, awesome. Awesome that you're testing. Good job. Marina said there's sleeves that go straight across like super duper cropped. Oh, I think I have seen that before. It's like basically just sleeves and a shirt that comes up to here. Is that what it is? Oh, Kai, yes. We were actually just talking about Tony. I am subscribed to her, so I can definitely easily find her and look at her Tunisian stuff. I think I saw it and Marina mentioned it that she put something out. I think it was today, wasn't it? That were washcloths or dishcloths or something like that. So that would be perfect. Sarah said like one piece bolero. Kai said the 5 Tunisian hook would be good for a 3-weight yarn. Okay, good to know. Good to know. Sarah said that's what I'm picturing too, Heather. Marina said yes, some call it a bolero, but short as heck. Some people add rows of mohair or other fuzzy yarn using a large hook. Interesting. I don't know if that sounds comfortable to me, but you know, I'm a 50-year-old woman, so what do I know about fashion? So far, I have not seen that style around here. The girls are always pushing the limits at school as to what they can wear. From pajamas, which the school rule is you're not allowed to wear them, but nobody ever enforces that rule. They say it on the announcements every day, just a reminder that you're not allowed to wear pajamas to school, but then they come to school in pajamas and they don't do anything about it. So Sarah said I wore similar things as layers when I was younger, but I couldn't do it anymore. Oh, yeah. I could not either. Deb said, Erin is making washcloths in Tunisian for American starfish. I did see that. I did see that. I have to figure that out because I really want to. They're like a sweater worn over clothes, Marina said. Yeah, the other thing they try to get away with is wearing crop tops. And the other thing that they do is they wear a zipper sweatshirt and nothing underneath it. And they zip it as low as they can and then put the sleeves to the sweatshirt down to show off their bra straps. I never understood that, but the girls get so mad if you say to pull up your shirt. So they'll pull it up, and then the minute you're not looking, they'll pull it back down. I don't even bother to tell anybody anything anymore at school. I'm like, whatever, do whatever you want because it's not going to make a difference. All it is going to be is a frustration. Sarah said, I'm all about comfort these days, and it sounds like work. Yes, good point. Very good point. Sarah said, that's a new one for me. Scandalous. I don't know. And you know what's funny? I'm sure that everybody's seen it, the ripped jeans. But some of the girls, their jeans are so ripped, it's almost like they're not even wearing anything. It's ridiculous. Joseph says, what TV shows does Roman like? None. He has never been into watching TV, even when he was young. He does not like to. When he has free time, he likes to play Minecraft or he likes to learn about stuff like his math. He has an app. What is it called? Brilliant. It's called Brilliant. And this summer he's been teaching himself calculus because he's taking pre-calc in the fall at school. So, yeah, he's just a different soul. If we watch something together, he'll watch with us, but there's not a whole lot that we watch with all 4 of us together, just because of either, everybody's schedule or interest, that type of thing. And then Odin, my 13-year-old, he's just really into talking to his friends on the phone. So I can't even go into his room to ask him stuff because he's on the phone. He's like, I'm on the phone. So they never see each other in person, but they talk on the phone and play games together while they're talking. I guess that's the new way of hanging out with people nowadays. Oh, I can hear him now. He's on the phone. I was just asking because I was going to make a suggestion. Well, you certainly can make a suggestion. I'll see if he wants to watch it. We did watch a series together. It was called, oh my gosh, it's a few years old now, but it was about a high schooler who is autistic and his journey to either go to college or go to the South Pole. And I think he ended up going Young Sheldon. Okay. Okay. I'll suggest it to him. I'll tell him that you suggested that. It's so funny. Okay. I'll suggest that to him. I'll see if I can bring him in here just to say hi to you. Atypical. Yes, that was what it was called, Atypical. We watched that. I thought the series was pretty good. I do have a gripe about the mother because, I don't know. She was so nuts. And if they're portraying like mothers of all autistic people to look like or act like she does, then that would infuriate me. I'm nothing like her. I hated the way the mother handled everything. Alexa, announce Roman. Come here a second.
Announcing.
Roman, come here a second. Marina said we loved Atypical, not perfect, but interesting. Yeah, the mom was nuts. They're not portraying typical moms. Yeah, I don't know. I was like, some of the situations were really good, though, I thought. In some ways, people think Sheldon has autism, and I, being autistic, can relate to Sheldon. That's awesome. That's crazy. Is she chilling him from the other room in your voice? Calling, yes. We have them all over our house just to, because you can use it for
something.
You didn't forget anything, but Joseph is on really quick and he wanted to tell you something. Here's Roman right here. He was saying that he wanted to suggest a TV show to you. We saw Atypical, right? What did you think of the mom in Atypical?
The mom was awful.
I-
I love the one line.
Go ahead.
I
Give him the
love
camera.
the one line where the mom says to the daughter, "You're being a lot more like me than I than you realize." She says, "That's the meanest thing you've ever said."
That was a good line. We had some good laughs on that. Hey, come here. Joseph wanted to suggest the television show Young Sheldon. He said that they don't say that he's autistic, but in many ways people think he's autistic. So if you were interested in watching a TV show, I said you don't really typically watch too much TV, do you?
Only if it's really good.
Yeah, you never really like to watch a whole lot of TV. You keep going out of the picture. Oh. Okay, weirdo.
All right then.
Yeah, you can be dismissed.
What are you doing?
Love on the Spectrum. I saw that, Marina. I think I might have watched 1 or 2 episodes with Roman, but he wasn't too interested in it. I'm going to close the door really quick because I don't need to hear my younger son's phone conversation. You don't know what age it's for. Roman is 15. He could handle it. He thinks that nobody is ever going to love him, like in a relationship type of way. I'm not talking about like he knows that his mom loves him and his brother loves him, that kind of stuff. So I don't think he took too much stock in what he was seeing, and it just didn't capture him. But I did find that interesting. I watched every single episode of that, Love on the Spectrum. It was really cool. Is it okay for a 12-year-old? Atypical. What do you think, Marina? Is that a 12-year-old? Do you think a 12-year-old would be able to watch that? Oh, Marina already answered that. No, Joseph, maybe not. It might be a little bit mature. suggest it to your mom and see if she would watch it, and then she can let you know, or she could say, let's wait till you're a certain age and you can watch it. But I think your mom would like that show too. Atypical, it's really good. Kai said, good to see you, Roman. Sarah said, you're dismissed, LOL. I didn't know how else to say it. He's just like dying for me to say, you're done. Young Sheldon is the spin-off from The Big Bang Theory. I figured it was. I never watched The Big Bang Theory. Maybe I should go and watch that too. Oh, I don't know. I was talking about Love on the Spectrum. A lot of 12-year-olds are pretty sophisticated these days. Yeah. Love on the Spectrum, I think, I actually think that would probably be more appropriate than Atypical. Atypical did have some kind of racy scenes in them. So, but Love on the Spectrum was really about people with disabilities who were meeting each other for the first time and going on dates. A lot of it was either through internet or through community activities where they could meet each other at the community activities. It was definitely interesting. I liked seeing the reaction. And I found it interesting. A lot of them that seem like, and all it could all be how the people who produced it portrayed it, but some of them I thought went on some pretty good dates and were matched up with people who seemed like would be a good match for them, and they seemed like they were talking to each other and having a good time. And then the next time, one will call and the other one will say, sorry, I'm not interested. And I'm like, what? Really? Everything seemed like it was going so great. But some of them were just saying, and I understand that it was a little bit overwhelming for them. It's so sad that Roman doesn't think anyone will love him in a relationship. Breaks my heart. I get really sad about that too. And I've told him that you just never know who you're going to meet. And I think, I think there's someone out there for him. As Sarah said, I'm with Joseph. I'm with Joseph too. I agree. And I've told him that you never know what you're going to find out there. And that he has a lot to offer someone. I think that a lot of times he's oblivious, It's so funny. I dropped him and his brother off at the pool last week. Sarah said there's someone for everyone. And when I picked them up, I said, oh, how was it? And Roman's like, oh, good. There were some kids who knew my name and knew me. I didn't know them, but I went and played with them. So I was like, well, that's cool. And I was like, really? How did they know you? And he's like, oh, we were in class together. I'm like, and you didn't know their name and you didn't know them? You were in class with them this year? So I think sometimes he's just oblivious to things around him. And it would be sad if he missed out on an opportunity for a relationship just because he's like, whoo, in his own little la-la land. But he has time. Most people don't meet who they're going to marry when they're 15. I mean, I know sometimes that happens, but I think a majority of the time you don't. Plus, he has goals of going to college and being an actuary. So, it's probably good for him to focus on that right now and then focus on the other things later that will come at a more age-appropriate time. So, yeah, Sarah basically just said the same thing. I just said it'll come along. He's got big goals, and that's more important right now. I agree. He doesn't need to be distracted from, what he wants to do. So, and we'll see what happens once college pops up. I feel like that's going to be coming up so fast. Sarah said she was typing it as I was saying it. Yeah. Great minds, right? Great minds thinking alike. Sorry, I just have some stragglers here. I have a little piece of skin that keeps popping up. Trying to get that off on my finger. I felt like using the raffia yarn was almost like crocheting with sandpaper. And this week I did another raffia hat, but I did it with 2 strands held together because I didn't want that floppy brim again. And that was a little bit rough. I remember some of my fingers just had felt like they had been sandpapered by the time I was done making the hat. But now I don't know what I'm going to do the rest of the month. I was anxious to get the hat done because I wanted to wear it this week. The boys have 2 swim meets, and I wanted to wear it to keep the sun out off of my skin, off of my face and neck and stuff. But I don't want to make another hat. I know someone said make it in cotton, but I don't have a ton of cotton, and I've been saving that for the washcloths. Well, Sarah said, well, I think you guys perked me up a little. I think I'm going to go hang out with Ian and see if I can crochet. Oh, I'm glad we could cheer you up a little bit, Sarah. Hugs and kisses to you. I hope you have a really, really good night. I know it's probably not night for you yet, but it's night here. Tell Ian I said hi. Good night, Sarah. Thank you for stopping in. Yay, Sarah, have a good one. That's what Marina said. Oh, it's quiet all of a sudden here. Crickets. Oh, I'm juggling making dinner and a live now. Marina, that's what I was doing with K&K's live. Or no, it was Joanne's live. I didn't go to K&K's live because I was hanging out with my boys. I forced them to hang out with me tonight after dinner. We got some ice cream and just kind of hung out. And Odin was just like, oh, how much longer? How much longer? And Roman was okay. Roman's usually pretty good about hanging out with us. We ended up just picking something on TV and watching it. And man, the minute it was over, Odin was out of here. Is that boys or is that teenagers? It could just be boys. I don't know. I'm thinking when Odin drives, I'll probably never see him again. He's only 13 though, so he's got a couple years. What about finding a fun series Odin likes and watching it together? We do that. I have been trying to do that. Trying. But even if he's enjoying it, he still can't wait to go and do his own thing. So we watched, this was last summer. We watched Once, which I think was Once Upon a Time. Anything he's interested in. He is Minecraft. Talking trash to his friends. He wants to be a plumber when he grows up. That's what he's been telling me. He's very hands-on. He loves, like, when we were switching out faucets in the bathroom, he was there and he did it under my husband's supervision. Oh, good night, Deb. Thank you for stopping in. Have a great night yourself. It was so nice to see you. So, I don't know. I think even if I picked something that he would absolutely love, he's just like the kind of kid where he's decided. He's like that with food too. You know, there'll be something that I would say, hey, try this. And if he's not in the mood to try it, even if he absolutely loved it, he'd be like, ugh, disgusting. So, oh, sorry, my nose was itchy there. I don't know. At 13, they're going through so many changes. So true. So true. And I have noticed that 8th grade seems to be a really rough year in my years working at the middle school. And that's what he's doing. He's going into 8th grade. Peers become the focus. That's right. They're trying to see where they fit in socially and who they're going to be with and what's important. So just gotta struggle through it. 8th grade was rough for everyone. Oh, yeah. Yeah, middle school was definitely not my favorite time, which is funny now. I work at a middle school, so. Do any of you guys work outside the house? What do you do? Oh, there's only 3 of us now. Well, if we're slowing down here, should we wrap it up, or are you guys still into it? I just really came on for chit chat. It wasn't anything specific, like no tutorials or anything like that. It was just to see if anybody wanted to chat. Sundays are usually my best day to do this because my husband plays ice hockey and we don't have a lot going on. Juggling the pasta and the spinach. Ooh, yum. Yum, yum, yum. Sounds better than what we did. We had some really, really nice looking zucchini in our garden that I had picked. Some really big ones. So we had zucchini with fresh ravioli. Oh, yum. So we had zucchini that I sprinkled with mozzarella and then some oregano from our garden. And I broiled that. And then I cut up a watermelon and then I just heated up some leftover slices of pizza. So that was our dinner. So it was just so. I saw that zucchini, beautiful. Sounds really yummy though. Oh, the zucchini is yummy. I love, I didn't grow watermelon because we didn't clear a spot big enough to plant watermelon. Most of my garden is in boxes, so. Jeanne said, I just finished touching up the wall where I installed my new cubbies. Now I need to go get a shower. It was nice to meet you, your young one. Good night, all. Good night, Jeanne. It was so nice of you to come in here and hang out with us and see what was going on. It's good to see you again. I hadn't seen you for a while. I'm really glad you're back. Marina, I'll tell you what I'm making. So I think I told you that for my Patreon, I do a monthly giveaway of something that I made to the people who subscribe to me. So I'm doing a bag, and here's what I have so far for the bag. It's gonna be, love it, nice seeing you again. It's going to be bigger. It's gonna be kind of like a beach bag size, and then it'll have handles that come up off of it. So that's what I'm working on. That'll be August's giveaway, because July's giveaway was what I showed you earlier with the little lovey. So, and I'll probably do that once I get done with all of the dishcloth ideas. It's pretty. Thank you. Thank you. This was a pattern I found on Yarnspirations, a free one. Sometimes I just kind of go through there just to get ideas because I don't always know what to make. So, but Yarnspirations, gosh, they have so many. Oh, thank you, Jeanne. Jeanne said, I'm just going to leave you running. Every little bit has to help some. Yes, it does. Oh, that is so nice of you. Thank you for doing that. I'm trying to get my watch hours up. That was the thing. And it's frustrating. Yeah, they do have a lot of patterns. It's a good place to go if you don't know what to make. It's frustrating because I've already had content for a year, and since the watch hours are only good for a year, it's frustrating to see the numbers going up and then the next day you check and they've gone down. Luckily, they're going up faster than they're going down, but I keep thinking I'd be so much closer to my goal if you weren't taking these hours away from me. So, I did that for KK today. We were going out to the pool and I let it run. Oh, that was nice. That was nice. I'm sure that they're trying to work up their watch hours too. Even the lesser monetization one, it's a lot of watch hours. Marina said, speaking of which, I ran your playlist for a bunch of hours today on my TV. Thank you so much. All of that helps. Thank you. I really appreciate that. I've been getting a lot of really, really, really nice support. There have been several people that have said that they've been doing that, letting my playlist play, and that's awesome. Thank you so much, Marina. All of that definitely is a help. So, but I was going to say, even for the lesser, thank you, Marina. Even for the lesser monetization one, 500 subscribers and 3,000 watch hours. The watch hours are what's difficult. And, you know, what they count as watch hours, what counts, what doesn't count, you know, clearing your history, all of that stuff. It's crazy. You probably just want me to get there, so I stopped talking about it, huh? Well, she just shut up about it. Oh, hi. It's not magic. It's okay. It's just been kind of a slow night. Oh, thank you, Marina. Marina said was watching my playlist, and she said she cleared the history before she did that. Thank you. Yeah, it's just been we've just been chit-chatting and figuring out stuff to talk about. It's not really anything specific, you know, no tutorials, no anything like that. I just thought, I'm sitting here crocheting. I want to catch up with my friends. So, it's not magic, it's just crochet. I love that. That's such a cute channel name. It's not magic. Hi, Anvita. How's everything going on your side of the world? It's good to see you. It's probably morning for you, isn't it? Here it's 10:07 p.m. It's always nice to see you, Not Magic and Anvita. It's early morning. I just woke up. I guess that's when you have to catch your lives, huh? While everybody over here is doing it in the evening, you have to wake up early. Do you have to work today? Are you at home? I'm just being nosy. You don't have to answer. Just because I ask a question doesn't mean you have to answer it if I'm being too nosy or too personal. I'm always curious what people do for a living too. Like what have you gotten into? You know, what is interesting to you? What have you studied? All those things are interesting to me. I'm not stressing the monetization, but I understand why when you get so close you can almost taste it. Yeah. I don't want to like be a broken record. I just sometimes when you have a goal, you have to advocate for yourself, and that's what I have kind of felt like. You know, I have felt a lot in my life that I've had to advocate for myself. So that's kind of where I am with that. But the other thing is that I have some ideas for things that I'd like to do on the channel, and some of that would be I'd have to buy things for, you know, like the yarns and that type of thing. I love the yarn comparison idea because I know something that's been frustrating. I did finish things day today. Okay. So something that is frustrating not only to me is sometimes when you go on and you're watching these big channels and they're unwrapping all this amazing yarn, or they're showing you how to make something and they're using this ultra expensive yarn to show you, and it looks really nice and you're like, of course it looks nice, that's like the best yarn you could ever get. I think that can be frustrating and off-putting. I know it has been sometimes for me, or sometimes I'll look at a pattern and I'll be like, well, I guess I can't make this pattern because I'm not spending that much on yarn. You know, and right now everything that I buy, it comes from my family budget. But if I could monetize and use that monetization money, and I know it's not a lot, you know, you have to be a huge channel to get a lot. But if it's something where I could save up a little bit here or there, and maybe the one thing I really want to do, like I said, is the comparison, where you find a pattern where it calls for something with the more expensive yarn, and you make it with more expensive yarn, and then you try it with other types of yarn and compare them side to side to see if you have to actually use that more expensive yarn. That's one of the things that I'd really like to do, but I had other ideas of things too that I wanted to try on my channel that would cost money. So if I apparently my Google changed everything I said. I figured that must have been an autocorrect. I wasn't sure exactly what you were saying, but anyway, you know, if I could if I could be monetized, that could be money that's not out of my family budget that I could do that type of thing with. When I did my last Wearable Wednesday, I made a pattern, a shirt pattern that called for the Kaboo yarn. And when I priced it out, at least for my Michaels, it would have been $54 for me to make that. So I ended up making it with Dollar Tree yarn. And it actually turned out really, really nice. And then I had a subscriber donate the Kaboo yarn to me. And so I made it also with the Kaboo yarn for a comparison. And I think everybody overwhelmingly said that it actually was better in the Dollar Tree yarn. It held its shape better. It wasn't dragging down. When I was using the Kaboo, it's really soft and it's really lovely yarn. But pajamas aren't that bad as long as they are decent. Okay. Anyway, that's really kind of my push for the. Oh, you're behind in the chat. Were we talking about pajamas? I'm sorry, I must have missed something. That was my thinking with the whole monetization thing. You know, I worry. Oh, to school. Yes, we were talking about pajamas. I'll tell you what, some of the pajamas that the kids were wearing were way more decent than the clothes that they were wearing. But my issue is not the pajamas, but if the school is going to have a rule and they don't enforce it, it's not a good, I don't think it's good for the kids, because the kids really push their boundaries, especially in middle school. They really push their boundaries. So, oh, I can wear pajamas to school. Now I can do this in school. Now I can do that in school. And then it's chaos. To me, if nobody is going to enforce it, why don't they just drop it as a rule? My guess is that they would not wear pajamas to school if it wasn't a rule. Yeah, the kids push their boundaries. It doesn't matter to me one way or the other if the kids wear pajamas to school. I don't really care. And I'm not a principal. I'm not anybody who has to enforce the rules. I'm not anybody of power in the school. But it's just frustrating to be an employee at the school and, you know, to try and enforce any of the rules when they say, well, we don't have to do that. You know, look at this. This is a rule and we don't have to do that. But, you know, it's just one of my gripes. Yeah. Marina's saying hi, and Vita. You know, when we were doing online school during COVID, your kids were wearing whatever they wanted when they were online. It's like banning books. I roll my eyes every time. Maybe they want to read the books. Yeah, I agree. It's been lovely chatting with you all. Heather, our dinner is now ready and I'm going to have to go. I understand. Enjoy your dinner. I'm a little bit jealous. I started like, my mouth was like, ooh, ravioli. Oh, I'd love to have some of that. Enjoy it. Tell your daughter I said hi. Hi, Denise. Great to see you. It's like one crowd pops out and a new crowd pops in. I love this because I get to talk to all my friends. We've been talking about all kinds of stuff. I think most recently here we were talking about rules in schools. Thanks, sweetheart. She just heard you and smiled. Hi and bye, Denise and everybody. See ya. We were saying that one of the rules at my school is no pajamas, and they say it on the announcements every morning. They're like, just a reminder, you're not allowed to wear pajamas to school. And then they're all wearing pajamas and no one enforces the rules. So I don't care. Personally, I don't care about the pajamas. I don't care if they wear pajamas to school, if whatever. But the thing is, if you're going to have a rule and then you don't enforce it, that just really creates a snowball effect where the kids realize we don't have to follow any of the rules. And there's just some really awfulness going on in the school. This year I was so frustrated in some of the classes I was in. I was helping a student. I work with the special ed department, so I sometimes will, well, most of my day is going out into the classrooms with the special ed students and supporting them while they're in their regular classes. So I was in an art class with my special ed student, and this was just one of the students in the class who, you know, doesn't have any kind of special needs. She was laying on the art table, and the teacher asked her to get down. And she's like, no, I don't have to. And she said, well, I'm going to have to write you a detention slip if you don't get down. And she said, go ahead, my mom will call and get me out of it anyway. And she never got down from the table, and the teacher just went on with teaching and ignored it. So um, that's really an example of why, if you put all these rules out and don't enforce it, it just snowballs and it gets worse and worse. The schools ever since, at least the school I'm at, and I'm not in a city school, I live out in the country. This is just a country, rural farming area, and this is how the kids act. So you say, and you look like the bad guy because you enforce the rules. I don't have any power to enforce it. I could ask the kids. I could be, because I don't have a power to give out detentions or anything like that in my position. My position is to support special ed. So when there's a show going on, a poop show going on in the classroom, I'm not the disciplinarian. If there's an emergency where we need help or something like that, I can step in and help. But the teacher is in charge of the class. I'm there to support my student, my special ed student. And I shouldn't complain too much because the kids that I work with are wonderful. They are lovely. It is just so frustrating being in the regular classroom with these kids because it is a nightmare. Every day is a nightmare. I get so frustrated and so angry. I was in a science class 2 years ago, and I could tell you things you would never believe. The kids were watching movies on their computer while the teacher was teaching, and this teacher had to put up with so much crap that he just ended up standing in front of the room and saying his lesson and ignoring everything else. They were throwing paper airplanes. They were putting their earbuds in and listening to music and actually singing the music out loud that they were listening to in their earbuds while the teacher was teaching. It was a nightmare. And I had to tell the teacher finally, because he had me sitting in the back with my special ed student. My student wanted to learn. My student was very good, very diligent about finishing his work. So I had to go up there and say, listen, please move us to the front. We cannot hear you. We cannot function in the back of the room. So he did. It was nice. I mean, the teacher was really nice, and he's a good teacher, but there was just no managing that class. It was a nightmare. I was in his classroom again this year, and it was a little bit better group, so he didn't really have to deal with as much that group 2 years ago. Oh my gosh. I dreaded that period of the day. Every single day, I dreaded it because of the way that the kids acted in there. So it's not just kids. I supervised 8 people, and it got to be chaos some days. This is what I worry about. They should call a supervisor or something. Yeah, for sure, not Magic, because that's crazy. There's nowhere to go in our school, to be honest with you, because the principal has his hands tied. The administration doesn't seem to understand the severity of what's going on. And I'm just a lowly helper of special ed kids. I have no power to cause any kind of change. And I have just learned over the past couple years to say nothing. I go in there, I help my student, that's about it. It's very frustrating. I would actually prefer not to be working at that job, but for now, it gives me the freedom to have the summers off and not have to work weekends and evenings. So I'm able to drive my kids to all of their activities during the school year. When they have evening activities, I'm available to take them, that kind of thing. And then in the summer, I know that my boys are old enough that they could be home alone while I was at work. That's not the issue. The issue is if I wasn't here, they would be home alone and sitting on video games all day. And I really don't want that to happen for them. during the summer. So right now they're on a swim team and they have practice every single morning. I'm home. I can drive them to and from practice. They have swim meets twice a week. I'm able to drive them to and from their swim meets, those kind of things. So it's kind of like I feel like I'm trapped in that position. And I know I'm lucky, whereas I can have that flexibility to work this job, but it's really not something that I have been enjoying. Denise said, talk about being stressed out and not enjoy your job. Yeah, it's true. So if you get monetized, you'll have some cushion. That's for sure. And I mean, if it grows from there, maybe, my husband had always said, if you make as much as you make at the school, which isn't saying much, because I'm not, I'm not anybody special in the school, that I could leave that job to do this. But he wants this certain little bit of security that we have from this job. It's a nice little cushion for us. It goes right into our savings account. And when we want to work on projects for the home, we have the cushion for that. When we want to go on vacation, we have the cushion for that. I certainly couldn't pay all the bills in our house, but it's not nothing. So, I don't know. I have thought like, maybe if I just went and worked at a grocery store or whatever. But then again, it's the whole working the summer and working evenings and working weekends. It doesn't leave me available to have our kids do stuff. They're old enough to be home alone, but to be in no activities and not have the way to go back and forth. He also knows even if you don't enjoy it, you go stir crazy at home. Maybe. I've been home all summer, and even though I'm driving the kids back and forth, I have really poured myself more into this channel than I do. I love crocheting. I love yarny stuff. I would love to do more and more of it, like creating more patterns, that kind of thing. So I don't know. I'm kind of a homebody. I don't think I would mind being home. And I've also been making content for Christmas and Halloween, and it's already up, set to be aired in the future. So it's like, I don't know. If I did this all the time, I think I would love it. The price you have to pay sometimes, but your kids are the important thing. Yeah, I agree. And I keep telling myself that, like, I'm doing this for my kids. It's the best thing for them, and I want them to have a good life. They're 13 and 15. There's not going to be too much longer until they can drive. So that's what they all said about my retirement. 4 years in, still enjoying. Oh, I see. So you retired and people said you were going to go stir crazy, but you're still enjoying it, even though it's hard. Yeah. Yeah, no, I agree. That's really, I want as much to do as much as I can for my kids. So that's really what I've been looking into for that. So 4 years into your retirement and you're still enjoying it. I think I would enjoy it too. Being home in the summer, it is so hard to go back. Each year when the trainings come up, luckily it's like a little bit of a slow thing because they make us do CPR and they stay busy. Yes, that's important too. I don't want them rotting away sitting in front of a computer playing video games all day. I worked retail 30 years. That's so tough. Retail is tough. Sometimes dealing with customers, I don't know if it's any better dealing with customers than it is dealing with, 12 to 15-year-olds, 12 to 14-year-olds, whatever. But I don't know, saying something now, I forget. No, that's not good either. I haven't been in a Walmart since I left. I can understand why. when I was young, my first job was at Burger King, and I worked from 16 until I graduated from college. And I can't say I've never eaten there since I worked there, but I never go there by choice to eat. I can probably count on one or two hands I'm 50 now, and I probably quit there when I was 23. From 23 to 50, you could probably count on one or two hands how many times I've been to a Burger King since I've worked there. Oh my gosh. Walmart is one of my closest places to be able to get yarn, so I can't say I haven't stepped foot in there. I do go there. They have a decent yarn department at my Walmart. It's not like enormous, but they have a half an aisle worth of yarn. She said the pandemic was great, an excuse to not people. So, was the store pretty quiet during the pandemic then, I assume? When we came back to school from the pandemic, I left just before. Oh, okay. Okay. So it was good timing for you there. When the kids started coming back to school, we had this 30 at Walmart, you're a saint. Yeah, I agree. That had to have been tough. I'm sure that you can tell some stories. Oh. Hated myself by the time I left. Oh, that's awful. That's a shame. It's frustrating, I'm sure that you were treated terribly by people there. So anyway, I finished Dorothy. Oh yeah, from the from the Wizard of Oz. Remember, I thought your name was Dorothy. That just reminded me of that. Oh, cute. Is there a way I wish there was a way you could show us. I don't like going there as a customer. It's always busy. So, hold on, let me see. I wrote it down. It's not Tansy. I think I was trying. Oh, Roberta, right? Roberta is your name. I'm making a little reminder because I want to learn everybody's name. I'm going to put on my channel if it stops raining. Oh, I would love to see that. I would love to see that. I'll have to go and look. I need to do a basket for Toto. Oh, do you have Toto done too? I love The Wizard of Oz too. I think we had this conversation before, but I read the book Wizard of Oz, and it's a lot different than the movie, but it's really, really good. I enjoyed it a lot. I enjoyed the book. I'm thinking of adding the witch. I forget, did you have a book, Wizard of Oz book, or are you making up the pattern to these? Oh, Toto is done. So cute. Yeah, I'm going to keep an eye out for that. I really, really want to see it. It's all you. Oh, cute. Cute. Are you writing up the patterns for them? Are you doing a tutorial, or is it just something that you're doing for yourself? I may have to remake Toto. He's kind of big. Oh, big Toto. Make him a little bit bigger and turn it into a lion. Writing, that's what's taking so long. Oh, yes, it does. It takes forever when you are writing the patterns as you make it. It is tedious. When I did the Band Buddy, I also was doing a video tutorial and writing it and making it all at the same time. I don't think I will ever do that again. It was so tedious. You know, I put so much work into that, and it's funny, I keep thinking, oh, I'm probably not even, people probably aren't even going to want those patterns after all that work, but they're already out there, so we'll see. And had an order for a dream catcher, so I had to stop for that. Oh, okay, so you take orders. The Band Buddy was cute. Oh, thank you, I appreciate that. I think it was because my boys were in band, and then I was in band too when I was young. Just kind of was something that came to me. It was fun, but boy, that was kind of I wouldn't say stressful, just tedious. You know, I kept thinking, oh, this is taking forever to get done. If anybody wanted to make them, gosh, between the pattern and the video tutorials, having both, you would just have a lot of resources for that, but that's if anybody ever wanted to make it. Roberta said, and finished Tangela Pokemon today. I don't know Pokemon really well. My boys were never into Pokemon, so I don't know the characters. I mean, I know what Pokemon is, but I don't know the characters. Is this another one that's also your pattern? The doll is a general pattern. I'm just adapting. Cool. Yes, cool. Probably lots of people who would like those Pokemon characters. I don't know if you heard that, but my stomach just growled really loud. Hopefully you couldn't hear it on there. I'm not hungry. I guess I'm just digesting. My pattern, I'm just changing a little here and there. So cool. Do you sell your patterns? Do you do that on Etsy or? Not yet, still perfecting it. Cool. Well, guys, it is 10:36 here, which maybe doesn't seem late, but I've got to get up and get my boys to swim practice tomorrow. I'm so glad we had a chance to talk today. I've really enjoyed each of you. And it's just been really, really fun hanging out. Yes, I agree. She's talented. I can't wait to see those on your channel, Roberta. Awesome. I hope everybody has a good night. We'll definitely have to do this again. Look out for these on Sundays. That's probably going to be my best day. There might be some other days here and there I can pop on, but we are all talented. I think the creativeness is just great because everybody has their thing. Hugs back. You know, so we're not all working on the same thing. It's not like all of us all of a sudden at once wanted to do The Wizard of Oz. You know, everybody finds back just in time to say goodnight, I see. Yeah. Good night, Jeanne. I've got to get up early tomorrow. My boys' swim practice is early in the morning. So have a great night, everybody. See you soon, I hope.